Stick with me. You and I are jumping into a crazy mystery where my good deed got me 188,000 yuan. Fine. But guess what? They handed me 30 million instead. It all kicked off at our boring monthly meeting when the newbie assistant randomly flashed my budget sheet on screen. The boss and literally every coworker in the room whipped their heads around, glaring at me. That newbie smirked. He slammed a huge stack of contracts onto the table, shouting, "I'm exposing VP Han. He is sneaking company resources for his own fun stuff. This is a massive rule break. I demand an immediate suspension and total investigation." The boss's face turned into a stormy thundercloud, but I just sat there, smiling at this dramatic kid, begging for attention. The so-called resources he is hyping up? That is literally my own awesome office. I dropped 5 million on it years ago, letting our team use it rent-free as our main base for 3 whole years. Leo dramatically clicks the next slide. Bam! A huge bank record pops up. I quickly do the math. VP Han is totally emptying our company pockets every single month with expenses, sneaking hundreds of thousands under the radar using travel tricks. Our fresh new rulebook starts with the boss. We absolutely will not accept anyone taking from us. Every single person suddenly stared at Lydia, my awesome college bestie and super cool co-founder. Back in the day when she had zero cash, I risked my own family treasures just to cover her half of the dream. Later, when we desperately needed funds to grow, I never blinked. I tossed my shiny building deed right in as a guarantee. Yep, I handled the loans, annoying taxes, and the cool upgrades. Now pay attention, you and I know the real scoop. I personally begged the bank for cash. How does nobody remember that? But right now, Leah looks like an ice queen. She stays completely quiet. That nervous, flickering look in her eyes basically screams the truth. She is doing the math. Marcus, she asks, is Leo's wild report actually true? My confident smile fades. True or not, this mystery tracks back to whole years when she borrowed the space. She cheerfully promised to pay me back once we struck gold. Was that not the epic promise Lydia made to my face? I guess friendship totally magically vanishes when big bucks appear. Wait, I reply, sounding surprisingly chill. My fingers drum the desk like a brilliant detective solving the absolute final puzzle. The shiny papers are right here. Everything is super obvious, Marcus. She sighs. You are my best friend and a partner. But rules are rules. We gotta keep the team stuff and personal stuff totally separate. Toss the property deed and those keys to the admin squad. The team will totally manage all the incoming cash and fun rewards. Any extra payouts will just be magically subtracted. Wow, nice speech, Lydia. I stare at her, feeling a weird, dramatic spark inside. We seriously need to blast a huge announcement everywhere. Show everyone. I watch my best friend magically transform into a total, mysterious stranger. I do not even yell. I do not wildly flash my deed or cry, because I spot the greedy spark in Leo and Lydia's chilly, calculated stare. I know what you are thinking. Is it over? Nope. I grab a mysterious paper and slide it right across the table. Since Lydia drew her battle lines, I will totally play along, but let us make it official. Leo laughs his annoying laugh. Wow, sounds like somebody is super nervous. I ignore his joke, locking eyes with Lydia. Boom, a massive asset transfer and liability contract. Starting today, this whole place is yours. All future problems are absolutely not my business. Lydia freezes for 2 dramatic seconds. Pushed by Leo's intense glaring, she signs it. I cheerfully fold my paper. I casually toss my keys on the desk and confidently stand up. Leo's loud, victorious laugh echoes behind me while everyone whispers wildly. The exact second I escape that crazy room, dial my secret number. Sarah, start the master plan. Her snappy, cheerful voice replies without a single pause. You got it, boss. 3 days later, the admin squad blasts a massive office update. It loudly broadcasts my epic punishment and that 188,000 yuan fine. My cool office is instantly empty. Leo proudly marches right in, acting like absolute royalty. Meanwhile, I am chilling in my cozy room. happily staring at the glowing computer scan of our epic property deal. A huge, cheeky grin pops on my face. This wild game just started. The absolute first thing Leo does after stealing my space is rip down all my awesome art, replacing it with his own super cheesy, try-hard motivational posters. He sits in my chair, feet kick high, taking calls with massive ego. Oh yeah, Marcus's epic crown is totally mine now. Bring me everything. Lydia starts dragging Leo into the super secret core meetings, handing him every awesome major project I built. The gossip spreads like crazy. Leo is officially Lydia's shiny new sidekick. Marcus is totally done for. Meanwhile, I am relaxing by my giant window, reading the sneaky real-time spy reports Sarah keeps sending. Sarah is the ultimate super assistant for my family's empire, and my absolute top buddy. So what do you and I make of this? The trap is set. Leo is calling our big clients while Lydia sips her drink. Stick with me for some epic payback. Core servers locked? Done. All critical data permissions firmly tied to his personal account. He set up triple-layer encryption. If anyone tries forcing their way inside, the entire system automatically locks itself down completely. Perfect. Now reach out to Mr. Zhao and Director Wang. Tell them it is finally time to close the net. He hangs up and opens his laptop, logging into the company network. The screen shows Leo desperately attempting to access the financial database. Once, twice, 3 times. All failed. He can picture exactly how frantic Leo looks right about now. He built this entire system himself. Without his direct authorization, absolutely nobody touches the company's ultimate lifeline. Meanwhile, in the conference room, Leo is totally losing it at his screen. What is going on? Why won't anything open? The tech team lead nervously wipes his sweat. Mr. Leo, these files have incredibly restricted special permission settings. They need VP Han's authorization. Marcus is suspended. What authorization? Just crack it wide open. But VP Han's team personally designed this system. Forcing it could cause massive data loss. Lydia walks into the conference room, frowning deeply. Now watch the panic set in. Miss Lydia, Marcus locked down all our core data. We cannot access anything. Lydia's face instantly goes cold. Contact Marcus immediately. Tell him to hand over access. He gets Lydia's call while hitting the treadmill at the gym. Glancing at the screen, he puts it on speaker. Miss Lydia needs something from me? Marcus, hand over the system access right now. We need it for work. Wiping his sweat, he replies, Miss Lydia, have you forgotten already? I am officially suspended. Company policy strictly dictates suspended employees cannot handle any company matters. That is different. System access completely affects operations. Then why did you not say it was different when penalizing me? And besides, the liability waiver agreement we signed states clearly from that day forward, company matters are simply no longer my concern. The line goes completely silent for a few seconds. Then, just the dial tone. He sets his phone down and keeps running. 30 minutes later, Sarah texts him, Sir, the company just lost a $20 million deal because they failed to deliver project data on time. Lydia furiously smashed 3 coffee cups in her office. He texts back, good. Let the storm get much worse. On the 5th morning, the company implodes. The whole office system goes down without warning. Every screen turns black. Client data, financial reports, project timelines completely unreachable. The tech team swarms the server room, but they cannot do a single thing. Leo stands at the door, his face pale as pure ash. What is going on? Everything was perfectly fine yesterday. Mr. Leo, the system detected an attempt to aggressively force access into core permissions. It triggered the automatic lockdown. The entire database is now fully locked. Leo aggressively grabs the tech manager right by the collar. When I told you to crack it, why didn't you warn me this would happen? I did warn you. You told me to keep going. Lydia furiously storms into the server room. Her voice is incredibly sharp. Can it be restored? I know what you're thinking. He planned this perfectly. Only VP Han's biometric unlock can open it. We lack access. Lydia takes a slow breath, while Marcus calmly sips tea at home. He lets it ring for a solid 10 seconds before finally picking up. Miss Lydia, what exactly can I do for you? Marcus, the company system is completely down. Get back here and fix it. Miss Lydia, am currently suspended. Company policy clearly dictates I cannot handle any company matters. Your own words. Rules are rules. Do not play silly games with me, Marcus. You built this system. You have a strict responsibility to maintain it. He laughs. Maintain it? Miss Lydia, the liability waiver agreement we signed is crystal clear. From that day forward, all company matters are simply no longer my concern. You would not want me breaking company policy now, would you? I am a very disciplined employee. If I go back and get accused of unauthorized conduct, that massive fine was for absolutely nothing. Lydia's voice jumps up a full pitch. Marcus, what exactly do you want? Is Leo not handling my old responsibilities? I'm completely sure he'll manage. He hangs up and immediately blocks Lydia's number. Back at the company, Lydia is shaking with pure rage. Leo tiptoes around her. She shoots him a fierce glare. Do you have any idea what data recovery costs? And if our core trade secrets get exposed, the damage will be far, far worse. Just then, the secretary bursts in, completely panicked. Miss Lydia, terrible news. Huatai Group says if we do not submit the project proposal by 3 p.m. this afternoon, they terminate the partnership. The penalty is 5 million. Lydia goes totally white. Huatai Group is the company's absolute biggest client. The single project dictates the entire year's performance. She furiously grits her teeth. Go to Marcus' home. Talk to him in person. Half an hour later, Lydia arrives with Leo and two tech staff. He spots them through the security camera and slowly presses the intercom. Do you have an appointment, Miss Lydia? Marcus, open this door. We need to talk. Sorry, I'm currently suspended. So what do we learn here? Never cross the ID guy. Please head back, Miss Lydia. Lydia takes a breath. You and I are jumping right into this wild showdown. Marcus laughs. Name my price. Lydia, I am a professional. How could I accept bribes now? That would totally prove those fake rumors, right? No way. Lydia is absolutely boiling with fury. Right at that exact moment, the deadline has completely passed. Because you failed to deliver, we are following the contract completely. Send the massive penalty fee to our account within 3 days, or face the consequences. The tense call ends. Lydia completely freezes up. 5 million in fines, plus massive system crash losses. Their cash flow vanishes in a flash, and the real fun is just starting. I stand at the massive window, happily watching Lydia and her entire group nervously slink away below. I send a quick text. Tell Mr. Zhao to move. That huge Wade penalty hits them like a hammer. The panicked CFO sprints to find Lydia that very night. Miss Lydia, our company cash is quickly drying up. We still owe all our suppliers. Employees need wages, and rent is due. Pay that penalty first. Push everything else back, but those suppliers already called 3 times. If we do not pay, they will absolutely cut us off. I understand. That is all. She quickly dismisses the CFO and stares directly at the heavy safe moved from my office. Now pay attention here. That safe sat in my corner forever. When she blindly stole my assets, she never bothered checking what was actually inside. She immediately calls Leo over. Can this thing be opened? Leo circles it slowly. There might be vital company documents hidden in here. 2 agonizing hours later, a locksmith finally pries it open. Lydia frantically digs through the files, finding nothing but old, useless project records. Just as disappointment sets in, Leo pulls a manila envelope from the very bottom. Miss Lydia, this actually looks important. She snatches it and yanks out the documents inside. The first page clearly reads Office Building Property Bet Agreement. She flips through quickly, her face turning paler by the second. The core terms are absolutely crystal clear. The official registered owner of the office building is Marcus Han, while the property is heavily used as company collateral. The controlling party must remain totally unchanged. If the controlling party changes, the building purpose gets altered, or any ownership dispute arises, Marcus Han has the right to immediately reclaim full ownership. Plus, the company must pay 30 million yuan within 15 days. This brutal agreement was signed 3 years ago when the company was first founded. Lydia's fingers violently tremble. Turning to the last page, both her signature and Marcus' handwritten signature are sitting right there, alongside the official company seal. Leo leans in for a look. His face drops completely. Miss Lydia, what exactly does controlling party mean here? Lydia shuts her eyes tightly. 3 days ago, she foolishly signed the asset transfer and liability waiver agreement, directly handing control of the office building away from Marcus to the company. Based on this exact agreement, the controlling party already changed. You see the twist, right? We owe 30 million? Lydia's eyes snap open. Dead silence fills the room. Leo completely stammers. Could Marcus have planned this on purpose? He knew about this contract all along. That is exactly why he handed over those keys without any fight. Lydia snatches up the agreement. She reads it over and over, searching for a loophole, but there is none. Every single word is airtight. Each clause cuts her like a blade. Back when she demanded access to Marcus' building, she never bothered reading the terms carefully. Whatever Marcus told her, she just blindly signed. Who could have predicted that a forgotten piece of paper would become a massive ticking time bomb? Leo says carefully, Miss Lydia. We just pretend we never even saw this. Marcus hasn't brought it up yet. Lydia lets out a cold laugh. You think he won't? He's been waiting for us to breach that exact contract. Those heavy words barely leave her mouth when a knock sounds. The secretary peeks inside. Miss Lydia, a delivery from the court. Her stomach drops. She nervously grabs it and tears it open. Inside sits a formal notice of demand signed by Marcus' legal team. The legal letter is incredibly short and direct. Given that your company violated Article 3, Clause 2 of the Office Building Property Bet Agreement, we hereby formally demand payment of 30 million yuan within 15 days of receiving this notice. Failure to comply will result in legal action and a court-ordered asset freeze. The paper slips from Lydia's hands. She collapses into her chair. Leo turns ashen. Miss Lydia, our company does not have 30 million. Lydia weakly murmurs. He planned this from the start. Since the moment I signed that transfer agreement, he was waiting for this exact day. She finally understands his calm at the meeting, his ease when handing over the keys, his cold refusal to even help. All of it was because of this agreement. He wasn't forced out. He played the ultimate long game, and she blindly walked into every trap he set, step by step, like a total fool. As the sun sets, Lydia stares at the notice, her fingers white-knuckling the paper edge. 30 million, 15 days. A trap with zero way out. Before the shadow of that penalty even lifts, the company takes another devastating blow. Early the next morning, the production manager rushes in frantic. He quickly barges into Lydia's office. Miss Lydia, Mr. Zhao is cutting supply immediately. Pay all outstanding debts, or he won't send a single bolt. And that is where we leave it. Totally hooked, right? Stick with me. We are jumping right into a wild twist. Lydia is totally shocked. Why the sudden betrayal? Her manager just shakes his head cluelessly. Last night was perfect. Lydia frantically calls Mr. Zhao. It rings endlessly before he finally answers with an icy tone. Miss Lydia, I'm so sorry. We are changing our business. We cannot supply you anymore. Wait, Mr. Zhao, we have worked together for ages. We can talk this through. Is this just a simple payment issue? I will transfer funds right now. Miss Lydia, it is not money. I will be honest. I only supplied you as a favor to the brilliant young Master Han. Now that he left your company, I have zero reason to help you. The company is the same, but Miss Lydia, let us be real. I know young Master Han wonderfully. If he wanted to return, he already would have. His sudden departure means something is very wrong over there. I do business based on good vibes. I have great chemistry with him. I have none with you. Goodbye. Click. She grips her phone tightly, veins totally bulging on her hand. Leo whispers nearby. Miss Lydia, what if you talk to Mr. Zhao? I have met him before. Lydia glares at him silently, but but her fierce eyes say everything. Fine, try it. Leo goes. He waits 2 full hours before finally catching Mr. Zhao's busy secretary. He hands her his card. Please tell him Leo is here. I want to discuss our amazing partnership. She checks his card and smiles nicely. So sorry, Mr. Zhao is super busy. No time today. I will book tomorrow. The day after is great too. The secretary just shakes her head. Mr. Zhao is completely packed lately. There is zero availability. Please leave now. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all I need. He gets tossed out. He stands outside, face burning with total embarrassment. Back inside, Leo gives his awkward report. Miss Lydia, Mr. Zhao refused me. His secretary claimed 0 time. Now watch closely. She shuts her eyes, breathing slowly. You and I know Leo is just way too unimportant to get that massive meeting. A top supplier does not care about the company. They only care about epic connections and reputation. When Marcus was around, Mr. Zhao showed massive respect for him. With Marcus completely gone, what does Lydia even have to offer? She waves her hand, super annoyed. I get it. Find backup suppliers quickly. The manager frowns. Other suppliers either charge double the price or fail hard on basic quality. Switching suppliers late means delivery delays of 1 month. Lydia angrily slams the table. What do you suggest? Should I go beg Mr. Zhao? Complete silence. Leo speaks up timidly. What if we nicely ask Marcus? Lydia fiercely glares. Leo instantly freezes. Ask Marcus for help? Could she actually do that? Would Marcus even help? Thinking about him makes her chest super tight. She grits her teeth. Find other suppliers. No matter the cost, fulfill these big orders. I know exactly what you are thinking. Who is causing this wild chaos? It is actually me. From the shadows, I joyfully cut off 2 more of her major suppliers right now. I sit happily inside, listening to Sarah update me while sipping some nice tea. Mr. Zhao has been handled wonderfully. Now, please notify Director Wang. His epic turn next. Understood. Plus, Lydia just contacted 3 new suppliers. They all demanded sky-high prices. I smile big. Let her pay. Spending more ruins her faster. While Lydia struggles with her supplier crisis, she misses a massive threat quietly brewing over at the bank. After rushing through 3 backup suppliers, all charging double the original crazy cost, the company cash flow reaches a breaking point. The finance chief shows Lydia the numbers. Miss Lydia, at this spending rate, we have maybe 2 months of cash left. Plus Marcus needs his 30 million penalty. We cannot pay. Lydia stares at the scary numbers. Leo jumps in. Miss Lydia, why not get a bank loan? Our company owns this whole office building. We can easily use it as collateral. Her bright eyes light up. Right. The building. That place is worth 80 million. We can borrow 30 to 50 million easily. It covers our cash gap and pays the giant penalty. 2 birds, 1 stone. She tells Leo to quickly grab materials, the building title and our financial papers. So what do we take from this? She will go herself. Meanwhile, Leo runs blindly into my epic new trap. 2 days later, Lydia confidently walks into City Commercial Bank holding thick stacks of documents. She specifically requests Director Wang, a famous financial expert who completely controls all the major bank loan approvals. Stick with me. We are about to witness epic payback. Lydia waits 30 minutes before Wang appears. Gold glasses, politely smiling, entirely distant. Miss Lydia, your massive reputation precedes you. I hear you need a huge secured loan today. Lydia forces a fake smile, handing over the files. Yes, Director Wang. Here is our office building title deed, along with our recent financial statements. The building is worth 80 million. We want to borrow 50 million for operations. Director Wang takes the stack, casually flipping through the pages, then hands them straight to his loan officer. Run the preliminary review first. The loan officer grabs the files and leaves. Director Wang calmly pours Lydia a fresh cup of tea. Miss Lydia, standard procedure requires 3 to 5 business days for our asset valuation and credit review. Everything should check out within 2 weeks. Lydia exhales in pure relief. Thank you, Director Wang. Director Wang nods, smiling warmly. But the second he sees Lydia out the door, that smile vanishes completely. Instantly, he dials my private number. Young Master Han, Lydia just came here begging for a secured loan. Using that office building. I lean back on my sofa. Run standard procedures. Make sure everything is checked thoroughly. Understood, sir. I will pay extremely close attention to that building's true ownership. I hang up the phone and shoot Sarah a message. Alert our legal team. Have all ownership documents ready on standby. Exactly 3 days late, Lydia gets a call from the bank. The preliminary review passed. They ask her to bring the notarized documents. Feeling relieved, she rushes to the bank with Leo. Inside the meeting room, the loan officer lays out a thick stack of contracts. Miss Lydia, here are your loan agreement and the official collateral agreement. Please review them. Lydia skims through quickly. 50 million loan, 6% interest, 3-year term. Now watch this trap spring. She almost signs when Director Wang suddenly opens the door. Hold on. Lydia looks up, stomach dropping. Wang sits down, looking absolutely serious. Miss Lydia, during our careful review, we found serious issues. The registered owner of this office building is Mr. Marcus Han, not your company. While you gave us an asset transfer agreement, our legal counsel says that only transfers operational control, absolutely not true ownership. Lydia instantly goes pale, but we use it, and Marcus already agreed to transfer it. Miss Lydia, for a secured loan, banks only trust the name right on the title deed. That name is Marcus Han, which means the building is legally his. Unless he comes in person to sign off on collateral, we cannot process this loan. Lydia totally panics. Director Wang, please. We can explain. Marcus might be the registered owner, but he handed management entirely over to us. I understand you, but the bank strictly follows its own rules. We are totally responsible for loan risks. If the true owner never consented to collateral, and a messy dispute arises later, who covers the bank's massive losses? Lydia is left completely speechless. Leo murmurs. Can't we just have Marcus come sign? I know what you are thinking. Fat chance. Wang looks at Leo. If Mr. Han signs, that is ideal. However, as far as I am aware, Mr. Han no longer works at your company. Those brutal words hit Lydia like freezing ice water. Ask Marcus to come sign? Would he ever agree to that? Director Wang stands up. Miss Lydia, here's what I actually suggest. Go back and speak with Mr. Han. If he agrees to collateral, bring him in person along with the title deed, and we will process it immediately. Lydia stands there frozen, completely at a huge loss. Miss Lydia, should we call Marcus? Lydia slowly closes her eyes. She calls him. The phone rings for a long time before finally connecting. My lazy, unhurried voice comes through the speaker. Miss Lydia, what is it now? Lydia takes a slow, deep breath, trying to keep her voice steady. Marcus, our company needs a loan to keep things running properly. We must use the building as our collateral. We need you to come to the bank and sign. A heavy pause on the line. Then, a quiet, mocking laugh. Miss Lydia, is this a joke? That building is my private property. Why on earth would I use it as collateral for your company? Lydia furiously grits her teeth. Didn't you hand the building over to the company? I transferred operational rights. Surely you understand the basic difference. Marcus, the company is in real trouble right now. Please help us. I hang up. Lydia clutches her phone, fingers violently trembling. Leo asks softly, Miss Lydia, what do we do now? Lydia opens her eyes, completely full of despair. The crucial loan just fell through. Angry suppliers demand higher prices. The penalty is due. The company finances are on the brink of total collapse. And it all traces back to her one unbelievably foolish decision. The loan is completely dead. Lydia must think of something else. She makes the CFO compile a list of every asset they can easily liquidate. She plans to sell them off at a massive loss to raise emergency cash. While she is desperately scrambling, Miss Lydia, something serious happened. The bank account is frozen. Lydia violently shoots to her feet. What? How is it frozen? The CFO turns the laptop toward her. I just tried transferring funds. The system flagged the account. A court-ordered freeze. So what do you and I make of this? Karma never loses. Stick with me here. Lydia frantically calls the bank. Why is the company account totally frozen? Miss Lydia, here is the harsh reality. While reviewing your loan, we found some massive risk factors. After a deep investigation into your company, we see a huge risk in your ability to repay. But wait, she protests, we always pay on time. Never missed one. Director Wang sighs heavily. Miss Lydia, you clearly have no idea about this. The only reason your company scored those insanely good interest rates and massive limits. A pure personal credit guarantee. Marcus's family has absolute god-tier status in finance. That is the exact reason we gave your company such epic credit. But Marcus just completely pulled his guarantee. Your rating instantly tanked from A to C tier. Right then, cold sweat drips down Lydia's shaking hands. He withdrew it, but Marcus. His lawyers filed a strict withdrawal request, using your own company disciplinary records against him as proof. After checking it, the bank found his request completely legal. The withdrawal is fully approved. Now pay attention to this twist. Lydia is stunned. 3 perfect years were built entirely on Marcus. The cheap loans, the crazy good terms, the instant bank approvals. Literally every single thing was Marcus. The director continues. Also, per your contract, without his backing, the bank can immediately demand full early repayment or force you to add new collateral. You must pay everything back in 15 days. If you fail, we are taking you straight to court. Please, can we get an extension? We are completely broke right now. But the director's voice goes ice cold. Bank policy, my hands are entirely tied. Plus, that freeze stays active to protect our money until you pay back every single cent. The freeze stays. The call drops, and Lydia just completely collapses into her chair. A frozen account means every single financial transaction is completely halted. No supplier payments, no salaries, not even electricity bills. Boss, what are we going to do? Payday is literally in 2 days. Lydia shuts her eyes, massive headache kicking in. The brutal truth finally hits her. Marcus was never chased out. He left like an absolute boss. And before walking, he quietly smashed every single pillar, keeping them alive. You see it too, right? He is just waiting to watch her crumble. The CFO rushes in. 2 more suppliers just called in. They swore they will sue if not paid today. Plus, building management says we are 3 months behind on rent. Pay up, or they seize the offices. Her eyes snap wide open. Rent? Wait, aren't we in Marcus's building? Boss, that only covers our main headquarters. The 3 branches are all rented. She jolts up. They grew way too fast these past 2 years, totally outgrowing the main base. They rented massive outside spaces. Suddenly, the HR director bursts into the room. Boss, a massive wave of employees just handed in resignations. All top tech staff. They see zero future left here. The room spins. Quitting staff. Angry suppliers. Bank demands. Frozen money. Total disaster. Every single issue is a crushing blow, landing down simultaneously. Leo whispers nervously. Maybe we should just go and talk to Marcus. If he restores his guarantee, the bank will definitely unfreeze our accounts instantly. Lydia shoots a freezing glare at Leo, who immediately looks away. Pacing her office wildly, she knows begging Marcus is the absolute only way out. But can she seriously do it? She flashes back to that brutal day in the boardroom, staring him down, forcing him to surrender the keys, him silently signing away everything. The memory alone feels like a massive lump stuck in her throat. But what other choice exists? At this crazy speed, the company is completely done in days. Gritting her teeth, she snaps. Get the car. We are seeing Marcus. Leo blinks. Right now? Yes. Before we go completely bankrupt. 30 minutes pass. Lydia stands at his front door, but this time she is entirely alone. She rings the bell. His lazy voice echoes through the speaker. Miss Lydia, earning already? What now? Taking a shaky breath, she begs to talk. He goes totally quiet. Talk about what? How you punished me, or how you stole everything from me. Lydia shuts her eyes tight. Marcus, I was totally wrong. Just name your price. I will literally do anything to save the company. A soft, mocking laugh echoes from the speaker. Then, not a salute, agonizing silence. She waits forever, thinking he left. Finally, his voice returns, completely cold. Miss Lydia, some massive mistakes simply cannot be fixed. So what do we take from this? Lydia stares at the door, eyes turning red. She lost. Utterly and completely defeated. Alright, let us jump right into it. Lydia wanders around, totally dazed. Her struggling company's situation gets much worse by the day. Mass resignations pour in. Supplier lawsuits pile up like snow. Right amidst this absolute chaos, her assistant hands over a shiny gold invitation. She announces it is for the highly prestigious Jiangchang Business Association's Grand Annual Gala event. Lydia barely even glances at it. She almost tosses it before her assistant speaks up. She excitedly explains that top investors and elite business leaders will attend. Worth a shot. Someone there might actually invest. Hearing this, Lydia's eyes suddenly shine bright with hope. Landing a new wealthy backer means her desperately struggling company might actually survive this. She quickly confirms her attendance. Then she spends hours drafting a perfectly detailed funding proposal. When the grand gala night arrives, Lydia enters Jiangchang's top 5-star luxury hotel rocking a very sharp suit. Pitch document ready. The grand hall glitters beautifully with elite guests everywhere. Holding champagne gracefully, she eagerly scans the busy crowd for any potential wealthy investors. A friendly voice calls out. She turns. It is Mr. Zhang, an old face from past deals. She politely greets him. He nods with a warm smile, then speaks very quietly. He directly mentions hearing about her company's intense recent struggles. Lydia panics internally, but keeps her cool, smoothly admitting they need fresh funding. She asks if he is interested. He gets bluntly honest, admitting he knows everything. Frozen accounts and fleeing suppliers are huge red flags. He suggests fixing those internal messes before ever begging for cash. He casually walks away. Lydia stands entirely frozen, completely humiliated. She desperately tries pitching a few others. Exact same harsh rejection. Everyone in this elite circle clearly knows about her massive downfall. Nobody wants her mess. Now pay close attention here, because just as she decides to leave, the entire grand hall goes completely silent. Every single head suddenly turns around. Lydia completely freezes. He calmly strolls in, wearing a sharp navy blue suit. Sarah walks right beside him in professional gear, holding a tablet like an absolute top-tier executive assistant on a serious mission. The association president rushes over, beaming brightly. He loudly declares how honored they all are by young Master Han. He gives a very calm, measured nod. The absolutely thrilled president personally escorts him to the VIP seating. Elites respectfully step aside, bowing slightly as he passes. Hidden quietly in the crowd, Lydia watches this unfold, utterly shocked. Young Master Han? What does that mean? This is the exact guy she disciplined. Why treat him like absolute royalty? Before she can process this, Director Wang sprints over and bows down with immense, deep respect. He proudly reports that everything requested is handled perfectly. Our hero takes the offered documents, flipping through them in a super casual way. He gives thanks. Wang eagerly promises to serve the legendary Han family anytime. Those exact words strike Lydia like epic lightning. The Han family. She remembers Wang warning her that Marcus actually belongs to a terrifyingly powerful financial family. Unbelievable realization. She foolishly assumed Marcus was just an average guy with a few connections. Now, she realizes her epic mistake. Mr. Zhao cheerfully walks over, his face covered in smiles. He warmly greets young Master Han, excitedly mentioning his brand new business venture. Our guy just smiles, acting super humble about it all. They discuss collaborations. Zhao asks how things are wrapping up with Lydia's downfall. Our hero smoothly replies that it is nearly done. You know exactly what this means, right? Lydia overhears everything, and she feels her entire body suddenly turn ice cold. So Mr. Zhao cutting off supplies was Marcus pulling strings. That brutal account freeze earlier too? Also his doing. Every single disaster was his perfectly brilliant trap. She desperately wants to scream and confront him, but her heavy legs suddenly feel stuck to the floor. Just then, his sharp gaze sweeps across the crowded room. Their eyes finally lock together. He holds her gaze. Lydia opens her mouth, trying to speak, but no words come out. He casually looks away. He happily chats with the elites, laughing easily, acting like she never existed. Lydia intensely feels the harsh, judgmental stares from all the rich people surrounding her. Ruthless whispers spread quickly. Isn't she that foolish company boss who actually chased the great young master Han away? Total madness. She dared cross the legendary Han family in Jiangchen? Her ruined business is completely and absolutely finished now. Game over. Every single word pierces her soul. She finally gets it. Marcus was never just her ordinary co-founder or VP. He was totally untouchable, and she, in her blind arrogance, actually tried punishing him. She greedily took his stuff, actually thinking she won. Defeated, she turns around to leave and bumps straight into Leo. Leo is also here, his face totally pale, staring at the VIP section in absolute shock. He stammers, desperately demanding Marcus's true identity. Hearing this, Lydia lets out a bitter laugh. She calls him their ultimate doom. Leo violently sways, losing his balance as he suddenly remembers his own foolish, arrogant smugness in that conference room. So what do we learn here? Never steal an elite boss's office. Cue the cold sweat. Come along with me. For Lydia and Leo, every second at this gala feels unbearable. They sneak out of the hotel, escaping the loud laughter and clinking glasses. Meanwhile, I stand by the huge window, drink in hand, just watching those beautiful city lights far below. A confident smile crosses my face. Sarah steps right beside me and whispers, "Sir, Lydia just left. Let her run. The real show just started. Why rush it?" After the epic gala, Leah completely panics. She never expected Marcus to have such insane connections, or that she angered a massively powerful family. Back at her office, she simply cannot sleep. Her brain replays every single dramatic moment from that night. Bright and early the next morning, Leo sneaks over and knocks on her door. "Miss Lydia, got a genius idea. Let us strike first. I know some journalists. We leak everything. Claim Marcus leaked company trade secrets back when he was VP. Tell everyone he purposely destroyed us. Once this news blows up, his huge power will not matter because his reputation will be completely ruined." Lydia frowns hard. Will this actually work? She has nothing left. At this point, the company is practically ruined. Might as well take a wild shot. Maybe this forces him to back down entirely. Lydia hesitates for a very long moment. Then she finally nods. With absolutely zero options left, she grabs at straws. Leo gets the green light. He immediately messages some shady tabloid journalists, pays them off handsomely, and makes them run the story. Elite company VP exposed. He secretly stole highly classified files. Rich boy totally abused his position for crazy personal gain. Those articles are packed with wild exaggerations about my supposed bad behavior at the company. Plus, a bunch of chat screenshots taken completely out of context. Leo watches the crazy online reactions, grinning. "Miss Lydia, look, the news is spreading fast. Once this gains momentum, Marcus has zero choice but to respond publicly. Then we drop more leaks and keep him totally trapped." Lydia stares at the screen, but something feels deeply wrong in her stomach. Now watch closely. Before she can even panic, a sharp lawyer and 3 serious police officers storm right into Lydia's office to shake things up. Leo spots the cops and his face goes completely pale. "What is happening? Why are you even here? Here is a court summon and a police warrant. You are officially suspected of massive defamation, dirty extortion, and embezzlement. Please cooperate with this investigation." Leo instantly leaps up in shock. "What are you saying? When did I ever extort anybody? Sarah signals the lawyer to turn on the projector. The big screen shows undeniable evidence. File after file drops. First, bank records proving Leo took supplier kickbacks worth 2 million yuan. Second, perfectly forged signatures using Marcus' name to secretly steal company funds. Every single piece of evidence is crystal clear. This case is completely airtight. Leo turns ghost white and stumbles back. Where did you actually get all of this? Mr. Leo, did you seriously think you had your tracks? The company financial system was built personally by young Master Han. Every shady transaction you made is recorded. Young Master Han simply never bothered with a tiny player like you until today. Since you decided to become a target, do not act surprised by what happens next. The police step forward, snapping heavy handcuffs onto Leo. He struggles wildly, screaming, "Lydia, save me. You knew about all this. You literally told me to do this." Lydia goes totally pale. She cannot speak a single word, because Leo is completely undeniably right. You know exactly what she is thinking. She secretly approved every fake record herself. But admitting her guilt right now means total game over. Sarah slowly turns to Lydia. "Miss Lydia, you better watch your words. If you try covering for him or lying to authorities, you know exactly what happens." Leo gets dragged away by the strict police officers. The office goes dead silent. Lydia heavily collapses into her chair. Her shaking fingers tremble as she checks her phone. Viral posts exposing the harsh truth and Leo's criminal evidence are everywhere. The comments are absolutely flooded with furious attacks, destroying Lee Ventures completely. How dare a trash company attack Mr. Marcus? Lee Ventures cooked their own financial books, and actually had the nerve to blame an innocent man. Mr. Marcus got punished by this absolute garbage company. That is terrible luck. Lydia just stares at those comments. The whole room spins. She literally planned to use public opinion to strike back hard. Instead, she dug herself a massive hole. The company reputation is now completely, utterly destroyed. Hesitant clients start pulling out their investments one after another. Even the tiny handful of remaining staff quickly hand in their final resignation letters. The CFO walks in, her voice completely cracking. "Lydia, another major supplier just sued us. The court sent a strict summon, and the business bureau called. They are launching a massive full audit." Lydia slowly closes her eyes. The heavy tears she held back finally fall. Only right now does she understand. Marcus never needed a direct confrontation. One tiny push was enough, and everything she spent years building just comes crashing down like a domino effect. "Trust me, you really want to see this ending." She dials my number with shaking hands. After endless ringing, I finally answer. "Let's dive into this epic comeback story." My voice stays perfectly calm. Miss Lydia begs me for mercy. She claims Leo acted totally alone, completely separate from her business. I just smile. Does Miss Lydia really think her whole company is totally innocent in this massive mess? I remind her that rules are rules. That was her favorite phrase, right? She freezes. I cheerfully continue. "I always keep business and personal drama totally separate. Leo broke the rules, so justice will handle him. As for your business, I am not here to completely ruin you. Just pay back every single cent you owe under our contract, and we are officially done." I hang up. Lydia just sits there holding her phone, totally exhausted. The penalties and debts equal over 50 million yuan. How could she possibly pay that massive amount? Her company cannot even afford basic payroll anymore. Her secretary nervously knocks and walks inside. A delivery arrives for her. Lydia grabs it without thinking. It is an official court notice. My brilliant legal team filed a massive lawsuit against them, demanding 30 million yuan for breaking the contract, plus an immediate and total asset freeze. The heavy legal documents slip from Lydia's shaking hands instantly. She knows her game is officially over. 3 days after Leo gets caught, some absolutely mind-blowing news shocks the entire Jiangchang business world. Han Capital Group officially launches with a massive 5 billion yuan. They cover every single major sector that Live Ventures works in. This wild announcement sends massive shockwaves through the whole industry. When Lydia finally sees the crazy news, she is slowly sorting through said bankruptcy paperwork. She stares blankly at the new Han Capital Group website, gripping her computer mouse incredibly tight. Right across the bright homepage banner, bold line says, "Reshaping the industry with capital, defining the future with pure strength." Now pay attention to this wild twist. The CFO rushes in. Han Capital Group is taking every single lost client and project for 30% less. Lydia snaps her head up. 30% lower? Have they completely lost their minds? Nobody can make a profit with those prices. The CFO smiles bitterly. Those guys do not care about making any money. They only want to completely push us out of the game. Lydia sinks down. She finally understands. I am going to overpower her completely. Sure enough, within just 1 week, Han Capital Group easily scoops up the absolute last few clients from Live Ventures. Not only are the prices way lower, the professional teams are simply better. Clients have absolutely zero reason to say no. Even better, Han Capital Group drops revolutionary new products directly targeting her old flagship lines. Double the performance for half the price. The stressed marketing manager brings a competitor report. Boss, their new products use incredible next-level tech. We cannot compete at all. Their supply chain is impossibly strong. Their cost control totally blows us away. Lydia suddenly realizes these amazing items were projects her own business created but never funded. I clearly saw their amazing true potential back when I worked there. Now, I brought every single brilliant idea to life, doing it way better than she ever could have imagined. She finally realizes that I was never the one needing her. You and I saw this coming, right? She actually needed me. The sales director arrives. Boss, our total market share just hit 5%. We will hit absolute zero next month. Lydia painfully closes her eyes. Are there any clients out there willing to work with us? The sad director shakes his head. Zero. Word around town says working with Live Ventures means crossing the incredibly powerful Han family. Lydia lets out a sad little laugh. I do not even need to make threats. While my Han Capital Group exists, absolutely nobody dares to help her out. This is the awesome power of capital she completely underestimated and looked down on. Meanwhile, at our amazing new headquarters, I am cheerfully leading a major leadership meeting. Sarah perfectly displays their failing numbers. Boss, their market share dropped under 5%. Client loss is 98%, and staff turnover hit 85%. At this wild pace, they will completely vanish next month. Their best items left are 3 amazing patents, a 20-person tech team, and their office building rights. I smile and speak incredibly calmly. I definitely want those brilliant patents. And the team. Tell our legal guys to prepare an acquisition plan and drop that price super low. They have absolutely no power left. Understood, sir. Also, Lydia is running around begging for money. She wants one final epic struggle. Just let her try. The harder she fights, the faster she falls. Tell finance to get 50 million yuan ready. We strike the very second we need to acquire those awesome core assets. Following the fun meeting, I cheerfully admire the gorgeous city skyline from my giant window. Sarah quietly steps up. Boss, Lydia was totally rejected by everyone again today. I happily sip my warm coffee. Exactly as planned. Nobody in Jiangcheng would ever dare fund her project while I am watching. So what do you and I think? Sarah hesitates. Lydia was your classmate. Isn't this harsh? I just turn around, my confident eyes perfectly steady. Let's dive into this wild drama together. Sarah knows his rule. Total loyalty means you get absolutely everything. But betray him? Zero mercy. Sarah totally bows her head, apologizing for speaking out of turn. He just looks away, staring out the window with total dramatic flair. When Lydia backstabbed him, did she even remember all the amazing things he did? Nope. She made her totally harsh choice anyway. And so did he. Sarah totally agrees. Plus, she brings huge news. They finally got massive results from questioning Leo. Leo handed over solid proof. Lydia literally ordered him to fake the financial books. Should they press more charges now? Not yet. He playfully decides to let her squirm. Once her tiny hopes totally vanish, that is when they strike hard. Sarah gives this brilliant, knowing smile. He totally wants her to struggle. Why? Because she humiliated him before the whole entire company. She forced him into huge trouble and fines. Now, it is absolutely her turn to face the exact same music. Suddenly, the secretary pops in with crazy news. Lydia is downstairs begging for a meeting. He just raises an eyebrow, completely amused. Can you believe her crazy nerve? She is actually offering to surrender all her company assets, just begging him to let her walk away completely free. He gives a sassy little laugh. Let her wait. Downstairs, Lydia sits on the sofa, nervously gripping her bag with both hands. She has been stuck there for 2 whole hours. The receptionist casually claims Mr. Han is busy in a meeting. Now, pay close attention here. She knows Marcus is playfully torturing her, but she just waits. Another hour ticks by. Finally, the receptionist walks over. Sorry, Miss Lydia. Mr. Han is way too busy today. You will just have to make an appointment for another time. Lydia totally panics and jumps up. She begs to see him, completely desperate now. Mr. Han is already fully booked. Lydia gets super teary, pleading for just 5 little minutes. But nope, the receptionist shakes her head and immediately calls security. Lydia gets firmly escorted out. She just stands outside the grand entrance of Han Capital Group, staring up at the massive, towering building. The dramatic tears finally fall. She gets it now. She and Marcus exist in completely different worlds forever. Turned away from his empire, she is completely ruined. All her company accounts are totally frozen solid. She cannot even pay her awesome staff. Huge supplier lawsuits and court notices are stacking high across her desk. She is totally forced to sell whatever is left. Her financial officer walks in, holding a super depressing asset list. The only valuable things left to sell are 3 epic core patents, her genius tech team, and some random office supplies. He contacted several buyers, but their offers are ridiculously low. Lydia stares at those awful numbers. It feels like absolute heartbreak twisting right inside her chest. Creating those 3 patents took 2 whole years. Their true market value is at least 20 million yuan easy. That tech team is her absolute lifeblood. Everyone was recruited for top dollar. Now, she actually has to sell them off for absolutely next to nothing. The emotional pain is unreal. But what choice is there? Her precious company has completely hit rock bottom. Gritting her teeth, she says to make the calls. The manager hesitates. One mysterious company is actually offering the most. We both saw this coming, right? That mysterious buyer? It is actually Han Capital Group. They are offering 10 million yuan for everything, but she must sign today. Lydia completely freezes in shock. 10 million yuan. That is not even half the real value. But other offers are way worse, like 5 million. She simply closes her eyes. With a shaky voice, she agrees to sign. By 3 in the afternoon, Lydia arrives at the fancy law firm and pushes the big conference doors open. Sarah sits at the table's head, an intimidating stack of contracts waiting right in front of her. Sarah flashes a totally practiced, fake smile. Have a seat. Lydia sits down, trying so hard to look brave and completely composed. Are the contracts ready? Sarah easily slides them over. Everything is here. 3 awesome patents valued at 6 million yuan. The brilliant tech team is just 3 million yuan. Everything else? 1 million. Totaling 10 million. Lydia nervously picks up the paper. The second she reads those crazy terms, her fingers shake. The rules are wild. After the transfer, Live Ventures and everyone involved are permanently banned from ever working in these fields again. The tech squad transfers as one full unit. No splitting up. Plus, the payment is annoyingly stretched out across 3 whole years. This plan is way too harsh. She needs cash immediately. But Sarah smirks. Are you really in any position to negotiate? Honestly, if Mr. Marcus was not showing tiny pity for old times, they would never, ever offer her this much money. Any other market buyer would cap everything at just 5 million yuan, paid in one single Totally unfair. Drop. Lydia bites her lip in pure silence. Oh, and do not forget, she still owes Marcus 30 million yuan for penalties, 23 million to the bank, and 8 million to angry suppliers. That adds up to over 60 million yuan. How exactly is she going to pay that? Lydia turns ghost white. Sarah leans back, her voice dripping with absolute, sassy contempt. What do you and I think? You were so powerful when punishing Marcus before, weren't you? Stick with me here. This revenge arc is wild. Massive company fines of 188,000 yuan. Her business crashed from 200 million down to 10 million. Absolute disaster. That is the ultimate cost of betraying Marcus. Lydia squeezes her fists hard enough to pierce her own skin. Do not push it. Sarah just laughs coldly. Pushing it, Miss Lydia? You literally stole Mr. Marcus' assets and completely ruined his reputation. That is pushing it. He is willing to buy your assets. That offer alone is way more than you actually deserve. If you refuse to sign, go find another buyer. Lydia takes a very long, slow breath. Nobody else wants to touch her ruined mess. Her hand is shaking uncontrollably. She grabs the pen and finally signs the contract. With every single stroke, it feels like her heart is shattering. Sarah collects the contracts and stands up. It was a pleasure doing business, Miss Lydia. Oh, wait, one more thing. Marcus told me to pass along a message. She looks up. Sarah speaks slowly, delivering every single word carefully. Rules are simply rules, right? Those words hit her like a brutal slap across the face. That is exactly what Lydia once told Marcus. Now, karma brings those exact words straight back to her. Lydia's eyes tear up, but she stays completely silent. Sarah walks out of the conference room with those contracts, leaving Lydia alone. The tears finally drop. That amazing company she spent 5 whole years building was just sold off. For absolute pennies. Those genius patents, her incredible team, everything she was so fiercely proud of. All of it now belongs to Marcus. And she, once a legendary boss worth 200 million yuan, now, completely buried in massive debt with absolutely nothing left. She pulls out her phone, staring at Marcus' number for a long time. She desperately calls anyway. It rings forever before he finally answers it. Now watch this turn. Marcus coldly asks what she needs. Lydia chokes up completely. Marcus, I already sold you my company. Can you please just let me go? Every single cent you owe me must be paid back. That 30 million yuan penalty is due in 15 days. Otherwise, I will legally file for enforcement. Every single asset under your name gets seized and auctioned off. Your house, your car, even your parents' retirement savings. Lydia shudders. Marcus, you cannot do this. He cuts her off immediately. Cannot? When you seized my assets, did you ever hesitate and think if you should? Miss Lydia, you planted this vicious seed yourself. Now it is time to taste the harvest. He hangs up abruptly. Lydia stares outside. The world feels so icy and completely unrecognizable. That loyal Marcus who always stood by her side through every single struggle is gone. This man is a ruthless beast of the business world, and she is just his helpless prey. That 15-day deadline sneaks up in an absolute flash. Lydia desperately runs everywhere trying to borrow cash. Absolutely nobody will help her. You and I both know how this plays out. Those partners who acted like family, ghosted. Swallowing her pride completely, she actually approaches several shady loan sharks as a last resort. But the exact second they hear she owes money to the powerful Han family, they immediately reject her. Time is finally up. Her manager sounds totally panicked. Han Capital wired a 10 million yuan installment, but that is nowhere near enough to actually cover this massive mountain of debt. Lydia gives an empty, broken laugh. She has zero clue what to do. Before she even finishes speaking, her office door flies open. Several uniformed court enforcement officers march straight inside. The one leading the serious group is a stern, middle-aged man. He flashes his official badge. Miss Lydia, this is a court enforcement order. Since you failed to fulfill your strict repayment obligations within the deadline, Absolutely all assets registered under your name are officially seized in accordance with the law. Lydia quickly jumps to her feet, her voice shaking. I still have 3 days. The contract says 15 days. The officer just checks his watch. Miss Lydia, is currently 6 o'clock in the evening. The deadline has officially passed. Please cooperate. With that, those officers start placing seals over all her office equipment and assets. Lydia helplessly watches them clear the room, feeling completely empty inside now. That enforcement officer hands her a document. Here is the complete list of all assets currently being seized under your name. 1 massive city center villa, 1 Mercedes-Benz sedan, and that exact property currently registered under your parents' names. Lydia's head snaps right up. Why is my parents' house being seized? That is their retirement home. The officer calmly opens his file. Our deep investigation proves that although the property is under your parents' names, the actual down payment came directly from your personal funds. Furthermore, you secretly transferred personal shares straight into your parents' names. Exactly 3 months ago. This shows clear signs of a fraudulent asset transfer. Lydia sways, almost completely losing her footing. She honestly did move some assets into her parents' names right after everything started crashing down. She just wanted to protect something. She never imagined that Marcus would fiercely track her every single move. Plus, every single one of your bank accounts is frozen. Those funds will all go directly toward debt repayment. So what do we learn? Karma never misses. Lydia crumples into her chair, tears streaming down, the officer's tone softening slightly. Let's dive right in. Miss Lydia, I'd highly advise contacting your creditors quickly to negotiate some kind of repayment extension, because otherwise every single asset here goes to auction. You'll be left with absolutely nothing at all. Just like that, the officers finish locking down the place, leaving behind a room covered in official seals. Lydia sits in her locked-up space, staring into the dark. Trembling, she pulls out her phone to call her parents. Instantly, her mother's panicked voice rings through. Lydia, there are officials here saying they're seizing our house. What in the world is happening? Lydia chokes up, barely speaking. Mom, I'm so sorry. I dragged you into this. Her mother's tone instantly sharpens. What exactly did you do? You swore the company was thriving. Cornered, Lydia finally confesses the entire truth. Dead silence falls over the line. Then, her father speaks, his voice heavy, broken. Lydia, how could you possibly do something so awful to a guy like Marcus? Did you just forget everything he sacrificed for us? Lydia sobs uncontrollably, totally speechless as her dad continues. When you launched this business, Marcus literally used his own house as collateral for your startup loan. When funds ran dry, he paid the suppliers from his own pocket. When you were stuck in the hospital, he never left your side, day or night. You erased all of that. How could you turn around and hurt him? How could you steal what's his? Lydia wails through her tears. I was wrong. I messed up. Her dad just lets out a heavy sigh. Too late now. Go beg Marcus yourself. Ask for his forgiveness. As for your mother and me, these tired old bones, we will be fine even living out under a bridge. Click. The call drops. Lydia just curls up right there on the floor, sobbing until she has nothing left. The reality finally hits her. She didn't just lose her company and cash. She shattered her parents' trust, destroyed her friends' respect, and completely erased her own dignity. The very next morning, Lydia arrives outside the Han Capital Group. Now pay attention to this part. She doesn't enter. She drops right to her knees. Outside, while strangers stare, a few people actually recognize her, whispering instantly. A security guard quickly approaches. Ma'am, you really cannot be here. Lydia stares up, her face totally drenched in tears. Please, just let me see Mr. Han. Hesitating, the guard slowly grabs his radio. 10 minutes later, Sarah steps out of the lobby. She stares down at a kneeling Lydia, showing absolutely zero sympathy in those cold eyes. Miss Lydia, why do this to yourself? Lydia desperately begs. Please, just let me see Marcus once. I need to apologize to his face. Sarah just shakes her head. Mr. Marcus made his stance clear. He refuses to see you. Whatever you owe gets handled through strict legal channels. Panicking, Lydia grabs the edge of Sarah's pants. Please, I know I messed up. Sarah pulls away, replying with pure ice. Miss Lydia, when you plotted against Mr. Marcus, you never expected this outcome. With that, she turns and heads inside. Lydia stays kneeling, staring at those closed doors, finally tasting pure, absolute desperation. But then a sleek black Rolls-Royce glides right out of the underground garage. The dark window rolls down, revealing my completely emotionless face. You and I both know she's panicking. I look at her kneeling, feeling zero emotion. Lydia spots me and scrambles forward. Marcus, I was wrong. Please forgive me, I reply, without changing my expression. Miss Lydia, you'll pay back every single cent. Your villa hits the auction block next week. Those funds will cover your penalty. As for friendship, we had one, until you completely destroyed it yourself. I give the driver a nod. The car accelerates away, leaving Lydia weeping in total despair on the cold ground. Sitting comfortably in the back, I watch her shrink away in the rearview mirror. Honestly, I feel nothing. Some debts take an entire lifetime to clear. Soon, the court auctions Lydia's huge villa. It goes for 18 million yuan, dropping way below its real market value. That cash flows right into my account to cover her massive penalty. The day Lydia officially leaves her home, she checks into some rundown roadside motel. She has basically nothing left now, just a tiny stack of cash to survive. Right when she assumes it can't get worse, Leo gets out on bail. His very first move? Tracking her down, he pounds loudly on her sketchy motel door. Seeing him, Lydia's face drops instantly. What exactly are you doing here? Leo steps right inside, flashing an incredibly cold smile. Miss Lydia, a mistake. I should say Miss Lu now. I came to settle our score. Lydia frowns deeply. What score? Leo violently grabs her collar. What score? I sat in lockup for half a month, facing brutal interrogations every single day. Do you have any clue what I just went through? And it is all 100% because of you. Lydia desperately fights his tight grip. Let go. Faking those records was your bright idea. Lydia stumbles onto the cheap bed, face completely pale. I told the cops absolutely everything. That you ordered those fake books. That you took sketchy supplier bribes. And secretly diverted company funds to buy your parents a house. I saved every single receipt. Did you honestly think I would just take the fall all by myself? Lydia gasps. You betrayed me? Leo scoffs. You made me the scapegoat first. Trust me, we just watched karma hit its absolute peak. Stick with me here. When Marcus' team arrived, what did you say? You claimed I acted completely alone and you were innocent. Lydia is absolutely speechless. Then, Leo casually pulls a massive stack of files straight out of his bag. Look at this. Bank records of every single bribe you pocketed. Plus audio clips of you forcing me to cross the line. I already gave everything to the prosecutors. Lydia turns completely pale. Are you totally out of your mind? What exactly is your endgame here? Leo stares right back, absolutely ice cold. My endgame is getting a reduced sentence. They promise me that if I spill everything, they will go way easier on me. But you, the ultimate mastermind, you're staring at 5 years minimum behind bars. Lydia's knees completely give out. She almost collapses. Leo just watches her crumble, feeling an absolute wave of pure satisfaction. Look at yourself, Lydia. After all the chaos you caused me, enjoy your new life locked up. He slams the door behind him. Lydia just sits there, totally stunned. She never saw this massive betrayal coming. She never guessed he secretly hoarded so much proof. Hands totally shaking, she grabs her phone. She desperately needs to call literally anyone for help. But scanning her contacts, nobody is left to save her now. And right at that exact moment, a heavy knock echoes from the door. Watch closely. This is where it gets wild. Expecting Leo, she opens the door and freezes. 2 uniformed prosecutors are standing right there. They flash their official badges. Miss Lydia, we are investigators from the city office. You are officially a suspect for major fraud, bribery, and so much more. You need to come with us right now. Her legs totally give out. She hits the floor instantly. I promise, I am innocent. We have a mountain of solid proof, including Leo's complete confession and the actual documents. Just cooperate with us and make this easy. This is your only option. Soon enough, Lydia is sitting right inside a cold interrogation room. The official drops a giant stack of files right onto the table. Miss Lydia, Leo handed over all of these juicy details. Check it out. Fake financial reports with your exact signature. And here are the literal bank receipts from your shady payouts. Plus, clear audio of you commanding Leo to break the rules. Well, do you have any brilliant excuses left? Lydia just stares blankly. Total meltdown mode. Every single secret she tried to hide is now sitting right there in broad daylight. It finally clicks. Leo was guarding his own back from day one, planning his perfect escape route. The investigator speaks up. Leo claims you were the mastermind pulling the strings on this entire operation. He was just doing what he was told. If this sticks, you're looking at 5 to 10 years locked away. Lydia shakes uncontrollably. No, that is completely wrong. We plotted this entire thing as a team. I was not alone. I know what you are thinking, but get this. She shakes her head. Every single document has your signature. Every trace of cash goes straight into your pockets. Leo was literally just your messenger boy. The tragic truth hits Lydia hard. Leo absolutely threw her under the bus. He traded his loyalty to score a much easier punishment for himself. She yells out loud, I need to see Marcus. He totally set this up and forced Leo to turn on me. Please calm down. Mr. Han is just a guy trying to get his money back. Chasing a debt is totally allowed here. Your drama with Leo is strictly your own personal problem. Lydia practically melts back into her stiff chair. Crying her eyes out, she suddenly gets the bigger picture. Marcus never even had to lift a finger to ruin her. Just one tiny push was enough. She and Leo completely destroyed each other without any help. Now, her wealth is gone, and a jail cell is waiting for her. Meanwhile, back at Han Capital Group, Sarah walks in with updates. Boss, Leo actually surrendered. Lydia is officially trapped in a massive investigation. I just nod calmly. Predictable. A guy like Leo will do whatever it takes to survive. Sarah grins. Boss, that strategy was absolute genius. You barely had to try. They completely wrecked each other. Taking a sip of tea, I smile. That is just classic human nature. When the money was flowing, they were besties. But the second trouble sparked, they threw each other to the wolves instantly. Sarah leans in. So, what is our next play? Putting my cup down, I look sharp. We wait. We wait until Lydia loses her very last shred of hope. Once she hits absolute rock bottom, we strike. Sarah nods, totally getting the vibe. I step over to the window. These two turning on each other. Just a tiny opening act in my grand masterpiece of Payback. A mere sideshow. The true finale is still on the way. Once out on bail, Lydia basically wanders around like an empty shell. The investigators released her temporarily, but the massive case against her is still extremely active. So what do you and I take from this? True karma strikes hard. Hiding in a cheap motel, eating noodles, she stares at her empty bank app, drowning in deep despair. And right then, her phone lights up with a totally unknown number. Stick with me here. A strange man calls Lydia, claiming to be Jiang Wei's older cousin. He says he knows she's struggling. He runs a few massive businesses overseas and offers her a brand new position if she is interested. 50,000 yuan a month. Lydia hesitates, totally shocked. The man insists. Jiang Wei praised her amazing skills to the skies. He desperately needs an experienced manager. He tells her to think it over, promising to handle her visa and pay for her flight out of the country. A sudden spark of hope hits Lydia. She simply cannot survive in the city anymore. Angry creditors are absolutely everywhere. Everyone is mocking her. If she just leaves, she can escape this total nightmare and start completely fresh somewhere else. She grits her teeth and agrees to go. The mysterious guy books her flight super fast. They plan to meet at the airport in exactly 3 days. Lydia starts packing her bags, grabbing just a few simple changes of clothes. She secretly moves 800,000 yuan from the company into multiple personal accounts in batches. She justifies it, thinking this cash will give her a solid head start living overseas. What she doesn't realize, our team is tracking every single dime. Sarah checks the surveillance report and lets out a cold, sharp laugh. She reports that Lydia is moving funds to Skip Town. I tell her to let it happen. The more she takes, the worse her charges. Sarah asks if we stop her. I shake my head. No way. Let her believe she is free. Then we yank her back at the last possible second. Now pay attention. That feeling of dropping from pure hope into total despair? It is absolutely devastating. 3 days later, Lydia rushes into the airport. She hides behind a mask and huge sunglasses, completely terrified of someone recognizing her face. At the check-in desk, her hands are shaking wildly. She expects security to tackle her, but surprisingly, the whole process goes off without a hitch. She grabs her printed boarding pass and breezes through the security line perfectly. Waiting in the departure lounge, she nervously checks the time on her phone. For the first time in forever, she finally lets out a breath. Just 30 minutes left. Once she boards, she is totally free. But suddenly, the airport intercom crackles loudly. Would Miss Lydia please report to the service desk immediately? You have a very urgent matter requiring your attention. Lydia feels her stomach completely drop, but forces herself to walk over. The staff member glances at her and quickly hits the hidden intercom button. Just seconds later, multiple police officers march right out. The lead cop flashes his badge. He says she is suspected of fraudulent asset transfers and dodging debt. He orders her to follow them. All the color instantly leaves Lydia's face. She panics, crying that she is just going abroad for a job. The officer stays totally calm, mentioning a tip. He states she moved funds while on bail to flee the country. Flashing a strict court detention order, he demands she fully cooperate. The officer snaps cold handcuffs onto her wrists. Lydia completely breaks down, struggling and shouting she wasn't escaping. She screams about working, begging them to stop. Curious passengers all around the terminal stop and stare. You know what happens next, right? Phones come out to record. Without another word, she is dragged to the station. Now, she is sitting in the cold interrogation room, shaking uncontrollably. The lead officer slams a thick document onto the table. He reveals her transaction records from the last 3 days. She illegally moved 800,000 yuan from the company into 5 different personal accounts in sneaky batches. Then she bought an international ticket, and she expects him to believe she wasn't fleeing? Lydia stubbornly argues back, claiming the money is hers to use. But the sharp officer instantly cuts her off mid-sentence. That cash belongs to the company account. Her business is currently undergoing total bankruptcy liquidation. Every penny must go toward paying her massive debts. Moving it herself is legally considered a fraudulent asset transfer. Defeated, Lydia slumps down and goes totally silent. He reminds her she is currently on bail, meaning she is strictly prohibited from stepping outside the city limits. Yet, she bought an international ticket in a desperate attempt to run away. This is a massive violation of her bail terms. So, the prosecutor's office has officially decided to arrest her. Hearing the word arrest, Lydia's mind goes entirely blank. Bursting into dramatic tears, she begs them not to take her. She insists she was just going to work. The officer shakes his head. Nothing she says matters anymore because the hard evidence is incredibly clear. She must prepare for the heavy consequences. Meanwhile, I'm relaxing in my office, flipping through documents. Sarah walks in, announcing Lydia's airport arrest. I slowly set down my pen and lean back. That fake overseas job offer? I arranged the whole thing. I wanted her to taste freedom, only to completely shatter her hopes at the absolute last second. Sarah calls the brilliant move perfect. I lean back further into my office chair. When Lydia had me disciplined before, she publicly humiliated me before the entire company. Now, I am going to destroy her ruined reputation in front of the whole world. Sarah nods, confirming the airport videos. So what do you and I take from this? Karma is about to go totally viral. Let's dive in and see exactly what happens to people who cross me. Just an hour later, the video of Lydia's airport arrest goes absolutely viral online. Handcuffed, hauled off by the authorities, and completely humiliated for the entire world to witness. Crowds point and stare while comments explode online. Wait, is that the Live Ventures owner? She faked the accounts and tried running away. Totally deserved it. Owing massive debt and still attempting to escape. So shameless. Rumor says she punished the exact guy who made her successful. That kind of person belongs locked away. Locked in her detention cell, Lydia reads every single comment on her phone. The tears just will not stop falling. It finally hits her. Marcus doesn't just want her career and fortune gone. He wants her entire reputation completely ruined. He is making sure she never bounces back. And the crazy part, she brought absolutely all of this on herself. With Lydia officially locked up, Leo thinks he is finally totally safe now. He cooperated fully with the authorities, gave them everything, and got promised a lenient deal. The authorities promised that if he kept helping, he would get a 2-year suspended sentence. Max. 0 time locked up. Honestly, Leo is feeling pretty smug about his brilliant escape. He really thinks he survived the storm. So, he leaves his old apartment completely behind. Using his last bit of cash, he rents a tiny suburban room. His plan? Keep a super low profile, and just wait for all this heavy drama to fade away. Now watch closely, this is where it gets interesting. Finishing his noodles, a sudden knock hits his door. He peeks out. 2 men in sharp suits stand outside. Definitely not average guys. Leo completely freezes up, wondering if he should open it. Sarah's voice cuts through. Mr. Leo, I highly suggest you cooperate. Some things are just better handled face to face. Clenching his jaw, Leo opens up. Sarah steps inside with her 2 bodyguards. She slowly scans the tiny, cramped room. A slight smirk crosses her face. Mr. Leo, it looks like things have not been going too great for you. Leo completely forces himself to stay calm. Sarah, what exactly does Mr. Marcus want with me? She casually takes the only available chair and crosses her legs. Nothing huge, just a friendly little chat. Mr. Leo, did you seriously think throwing Lydia under the bus would save you? Leo's face instantly drops. You forged Mr. Marcus's signature. You actually stole company funds. Did you honestly think we had no clue? Leo freezes. Sarah gestures, and her bodyguard powers up a projector. Incriminating documents flash onto the wall, one by one. Here's the original file where you faked Mr. Marcus's signature. We already ran a handwriting check. And here is the full transaction log for the 5 million yuan you secretly stole. Plus, an audio tape of you taking supplier bribes. They will testify in court. Leo just stares blankly at the overwhelming proof. I know what you're thinking. Game over, right? Cold sweat instantly soaks his shirt. Sarah smiles. Did you really think blaming Lydia would save you? So incredibly naive. Just this evidence alone, the faked signature, is enough to lock you away for 3 years or longer. Leo's legs just give out. He drops down. No, that is impossible. The authorities promised that if I helped, they would go easy on me. Sarah just lets out a chilling laugh. Go easy on you? That was when your only crime was embezzlement. But add faking signatures, stealing funds, and taking bribes, and you still really think they will show mercy? Leo completely breaks down now. He crawls right to Sarah's feet, sobbing loudly. Please spare me. I truly know I messed up. Sarah pulls her leg away in absolute disgust. Leo, you acted so incredibly smug back in that conference room. You thought you were a genius, using Lydia's blind trust to climb higher. Look at you now. You are barely worth a second glance. Leo stays kneeling, slamming his head against the ground over and over again. I was so wrong. I was totally, completely wrong. Please beg Mr. Marcus to show mercy. Sarah stands up tall. Show you mercy, Leo? Remember what you said before. Actions harming the company's best interests absolutely cannot be tolerated. Those were your exact words, right? Leo trembles uncontrollably. He literally cannot even speak. Sarah stares coldly. Mr. Marcus wanted you to know. Whatever you tried doing to him comes back twice as hard. This proof hits the authorities tomorrow. Just sit right here and wait for ultimate justice. With that final blow, Sarah turns and walks out. Leo stays kneeling, blankly staring, as the heavy door shuts. He feels totally empty inside. His mind flashes back to the conference room, remembering how arrogantly he stood tall and pointed fingers right at Marcus. How boldly he marched into Marcus's office. Looking back now, how ridiculous he was. So incredibly foolish. Meanwhile, I sit calmly signing documents in my office. Sarah gives her report. Sir, Leo was officially recharged by the authorities. He is expected to get 5 to 7 years. Honestly, he should be incredibly grateful you stopped there. You are way too kind, sir. Putting my pen down, I reply flatly. Kindness? No. Watching him rot away and regret everything just feels way more satisfying than a fast finish. Makes you think, right? What about Lydia? I stand and face the window. The drama continues. Outside, the sun goes down. This whole city shines bright gold. But right beneath that beautiful glow, so many people are still absolutely struggling and breaking. Lydia and Leo are just two tiny players in this game. Stick with me. I watch the city, smiling cold. This game isn't over. We are about to witness the real epic ending begin. Once Lydia and Leo get locked away, Ventures officially enters total bankruptcy liquidation. A legal liquidation team marches into the company. They start cataloging every single remaining thing. Those once bustling offices now hold just trashy furniture and old equipment plastered with legal seals. The liquidation boss checks the asset list and just shakes his head, sighing. Their massive debts completely swallow their assets. Creditors might luckily grab 10% back. The team posts an auction notice for all remaining assets. Auction day arrives, but almost nobody shows up. Most people are just there to watch. The auctioneer hits the gavel. 3 core patents here, opening at 5 million yuan. Any takers? Absolute silence. He awkwardly continues. 4 million, 3 million, 0 bids. Suddenly, Sarah raises her paddle. 2 million. His eyes sparkle. Bidder number 2 offers 2 million yuan. Anyone higher? Still pure silence everywhere. Now watch closely. Everyone knows Sarah represents Han Capital. Nobody dares challenge the mighty Han family. The gavel drops. Sold. Congrats to bidder 2. Every following lot goes exactly the same way. The tech team, office, even the trademark. Han Capital grabs it all at rock bottom prices. When it finally ends, Han Capital spends merely 8 million yuan, sweeping up absolutely every valuable asset that company ever had. The liquidation leader checks these brutal results and shakes his head, flashing a super hollow smile. He knows Han Capital is totally crushing them from another level, but he literally cannot do a thing. That is legal reality. The highest bidder wins everything, and with the Han family casting a massive shadow, nobody dares bid. Leo gets summoned right away. Inside the interrogation room, the prosecutor drops pure evidence on the table. Brand new files submitted directly by Han Group. You hid critical info, didn't you? Leo keeps his head down, saying absolutely nothing. The prosecutor presses on. Forged signatures. 5 million embezzled. Why not come clean? Leo bursts into tears. I thought they would never know. The prosecutor goes ice cold. Never know? You seriously underestimated the law, Leo. This evidence is flawless. Your state witness status is fully revoked. That light sentence deal is completely gone. With this fresh evidence, you face 5 to 7 years. Leo hears that horrible number. His body goes totally limp. He screams like crazy. So unfair. Lydia did way worse. Why punish me? The prosecutor shakes his head. Nobody beats the law, Leo. You did the crime. Face the consequences. Guards drag Leo back to his cell. Sitting behind bars, he finally understands one crucial thing. You see it too, right? Against Marcus, they are just bugs. He never even strikes directly. One soft push, and they tear each other apart, marching straight into pure ruin. He screamed so hysterically. Impossible. Those patents are worth 20 million. The team sold for 8 million? The lawyer sighs helplessly. Miss Liu, Han Group was the sole bidder today. Nobody else dared to even participate. Legally, one bid clears the sale. Lydia completely collapses into her chair. Tears pour down. That company she built for 5 long years, the patents, her proud team, every single bit of it now fully belongs to Marcus. And she hasn't just lost everything. She is spending years locked away. The lawyer just continues. Also, the committee did the math. The auction money and seized assets only cover those 30 million in breach of contract damages owed to Mr. Han. Absolutely nothing more. Lydia laughs bitterly. So 5 years of work just ends up in Marcus's hands? The lawyer nods silently. Lydia shuts her teary eyes. She finally gets it. Marcus doesn't just want her ruin. He wants to steal everything she built. This isn't basic revenge. This is total plunder and erasure. The lawyer watches her suffer, sighing. Miss Liu, your best move is fully cooperating with the investigation. Fight hard for a reduced sentence. Get out early, start over. Lydia opens hollow eyes. Start over? What is even left to start with? Days later, Han Group announces they acquired LURP's core assets, totally integrating them into their massive corporate operations. Luke Corp's tech team now works for Han Group. So what do you and I learn? Never, ever mess with Marcus. Boom. This announcement totally shakes the entire business world. Stick with me here, because Marcus is making Lydia watch her life's work turn into his ultimate glory, and it is absolute perfection. Marcus stands in his awesome new office, just staring at those 3 shiny patent certificates on the wall. A confident smirk appears. Every single patent? They all belong to the Han Group now. Lydia's name? Completely gone. Meanwhile, the genius tech team is already hard at work. Backed by Han Group's massive resources, they can finally unlock these patents' true power. Marcus just nods. Perfect. Let them create without any limits whatsoever. He'll give them whatever they need. Sarah grins. Mr. Han, Lydia has to sit in a cell watching her own life's work make you rich. He stays super calm. This is the price of betrayal. She doesn't just lose it all. She gets to watch everything she built become my stepping stone. Sarah totally admires his decisive boss energy. He turns to the window. The bustling city is shining brightly, but Lu Corp? Completely vanished. After the epic auction, Sarah's legal squad rolls up to Lu Corp's old building. She checks out the empty lobby. Now watch this, boss. Move closely. Everything gets tossed out. Workers haul away every single piece of gear. They even chisel the massive logo right off the wall. 3 days later, Norp's proud headquarters is nothing but a hollow, empty shell. Sarah snaps a quick photo at the entrance and sends it over. Mr. Han, Lu Corp is totally cleared out. Marcus checks the photo. Cool as ever. Awesome. Now bring those patents and the tech team straight into Han Group. I want everything Lydia owned to fuel our epic growth. Sarah replies, the whole tech squad signed with us. Their pay is triple what Lu Corp gave them. They're super thankful for this chance. Marcus chuckles. Back at Lu Corp, those engineers were totally overworked, while Lydia blew all the cash on her fancy, spoiled lifestyle. Now, at Han Group, they make way more money and actually get to shine. Of course, they're happy. Soon, they'll completely forget Lu Corp was ever a thing. That's the master plan. He's not just knocking down the building. He wants it totally erased from history. Meanwhile, stuck in lockup, Lydia gets the crazy news from her lawyer. Hearing that Han Group scooped up her stuff for basically pennies, she completely loses her mind in panic. At the trial, the state prosecutor drops the evidence, piece by piece. You and I both know she's guilty, right? Fake financials, shady transfers, audio tapes. The evidence is absolutely massive. Her lawyer desperately tries to save her. Your Honor, I ain't messed up, sure, but she was totally cornered. The business was failing. She had to bend the rules. But the prosecutor instantly fires right back at that excuse. Having money trouble does not give you permission to break laws. She knowingly faked records and hid cash. This was totally on purpose. Nobody forced her. The stern judge looks right at her. Defendant Lydia Liu. Any final words about these charges? She nervously stands up. Her voice is trembling. I admit I was wrong, but Marcus is the real reason this happened. He completely set me up on purpose and gave me zero choices. She turns her head, eyes burning with absolute anger. Marcus, you had the power to fix this. Why would you do this? We used to be friends. Marcus just stares back, totally unbothered, staying completely silent. Bang! The judge hits the gavel. Watch yourself, defendant. This is a serious courtroom, so save the dramatic, emotional meltdowns. Lydia shouts, he caused all of this. If he hadn't done this, my business would be fine. I'd never be here. The prosecutor steps in, super calm. Your Honor, Mr. Han is a creditor. He has every single right to get his money back. The defendant stole his cash first. Mr. Han simply used the law afterward. It is 100% legal. The judge nods. The prosecutor is absolutely right. Lydia Liu, you can't blame your own crimes on other people. Defeated, she collapses back into her chair, crying in total panic. The judge looks over. Mr. Han, since you are the victim here, do you have anything to add? Marcus stands up, looking super confident and steady. Your Honor, just one quick thing. When Lydia fired me, she said something I'll truly never forget. Rules are rules, and company money must stay strictly separate from personal cash. Today, tossing those exact words right back. The law is the ultimate rule. Break it, and you face the music. The whole courtroom goes completely silent. Hearing that, Lydia literally freezes up. Those are the exact same words she once used to bully him, now thrown right back in her face. It hits her like a ton of bricks. Marcus keeps going. Lydia stole my funds, fired me for nothing, and ruined my reputation. These are facts, and honestly, you and I know his epic revenge is 100% legal and perfectly earned. Stick with me here. Her setup claims, absolute garbage. I simply used my rights to collect what was mine. The judge speaks clearly. Defendant Lydia Liu, do you have any final words? To try saving yourself? Lydia stares at me, tears streaming down her face. She wants to argue, but finally drops her head. Total silence. She knows the absolute truth. Against this mountain of solid evidence, any fake excuse is useless. The strict judge turns. Defendant Leo, do you have anything to say? Leo collapses into the box, loudly sobbing. I was wrong. Seriously wrong. I got way too greedy, and I completely forgot about the actual law. Please, Your Honor, show some mercy. The judge shakes his head. You did not just steal company funds. You forged documents and paid heavy bribes. These are massive crimes. Nobody escapes the absolute law. You will pay for this. After a long day, the court adjourns to pick a sentencing date. Walking out, flashing cameras completely swarm me. I stop, facing the hungry reporters directly. I hope this serves as a massive warning sign. Whoever you are, whatever your excuse, breaking the law means facing the ultimate music. Rules are rules. The absolute law is a strict boundary. Every single media outlet rushes to report this. Instant headline news. 1 week later, the hammer drops. Lydia gets 7 years for massive theft, cooking the books, and moving stolen cash around, plus a 500,000 fine. Leo gets nailed for heavy theft and bribery. Watch closely now. He gets 6 long years, massive fines, and both owe Marcus 30 million in heavy damages. Hearing this, Lydia completely shatters. She collapses flat in the box, her face totally soaked in pathetic tears. Leo literally faints. Guards drag him out. I sit right there, listening to the final verdict with a completely frozen face. Stepping outside, the bright sunlight is blinding. I slowly squint. Sarah walks up. Boss, it is finally over. I whisper back, not quite. This is just the end of the strict legal part. Sarah stares at me, super confused. I turn back toward the courthouse, flashing a cold smirk. Let them rot inside and deeply regret every single stupid choice made. 7 full years in a cage is plenty of time to learn exactly why you never, ever betray me. Online, The fans go absolutely crazy. Marcus was completely right. Lock those dirty traitors up. 7 years is a joke. Make it 10. That is pure karma for biting the feeding hand. Absolute justice. Their ruined names instantly become huge cautionary tales in the fierce business world. I become the ultimate symbol of justice. But this wild trial is just the epic beginning. 3 days later, the strict court drops the official papers and releases spicy video clips of the incredibly wild trial. The wild clips go viral instantly, grabbing tens of millions of views fast. I know what you are thinking. The irony is wild. On video, she screams about setups. I stay completely calm. The strict law is absolute. This massive contrast catches fire, instantly trending #1 on every single social platform. Comments go completely wild. Lydia is shameless. Total fraud. My cold comebacks become instantly legendary. Karma hits like a truck. Fans leak her old firing memo, putting it right beside her verdict. The absolute irony. She fired Marcus for secretly stealing from the big boss. And now, she officially goes to prison for exactly that. Huge news channels break down the entire epic saga. A smart TV lawyer says, the craziest twist is that every fake lie Lydia told about Marcus was actually her own massive hidden crime. She was the real thief. She preached strict financial rules, then literally ran away with dirty company cash. Pure textbook karma. The TV host asks, so what about Mr. Han in all this? Totally perfect. As a smart investor, taking his money back is his absolute legal right. Dropping the credit guarantee was his ultimate counterattack after being fired. Han played exactly by the strict book, completely, flawlessly. Lydia walked her own self straight into absolute ruin. Following the broadcast, my reputation completely flips into an unstoppable business. God. Those two become completely hated villains. Locked behind steel bars, her lawyer shows her the brutal, massive online hate. So what do you and I learn? Seeing the whole world mock her fake tears, she completely breaks down. Never, ever cross the boss. Stick with me here. Lydia sobs in her cell corner, totally broken. Her cellmate smirks, realizing, wait, you are that Lydia Liu. Everyone online is destroying you. An inmate sneers, you totally deserve it. Anyone betraying their real supporters earns every single insult. Lydia grabs her ears, terrified. She desperately tries blocking it out, but those harsh truths keep drilling right in. Reality finally hits her. Marcus never saves people. He utterly shatters them. The court drops the ultimate hammer. The verdict against Lydia and Leo is final. They now owe 30 million in massive penalty damages. Asset recovery begins immediately. Lydia's fancy villa gets auctioned for $18 million. Company assets, 8 million. Seized goods, 4 million. 30 million total. All handed straight to Marcus for that massive contract breach. Then the document ends with one brutal note. The remaining debts are completely unpayable. Creditors can still legally chase her, sure, but her accounts are totally empty. Zero assets left. Now watch closely. When this news drops, every single supplier she owes money to absolutely panics. They realize her pockets are totally empty. Furious suppliers swarm the internet, screaming, Lydia still owes us millions. Mr. Han took everything, leaving us with nothing. He casually walks away with 30 million. While we small businesses eat this massive financial loss, that sparks instant online debate. But honestly, most people side with me. Mr. Han is a totally lawful creditor. He gets paid first legally. Blame Lydia. She racked up those debts. That is definitely not Mr. Han's problem. I watch the online chatter, smiling. Sarah enters. Mr. Han, public opinion is completely on your side now. Everyone praises you while destroying Lydia. I smirk. I planned this from the very beginning. Winning the legal battle was just step one. I needed to completely dominate public opinion too. Lydia lost her freedom and her cash. Her reputation is permanently ruined. Sarah looks at me with absolute awe. Mr. Han, absolute masterclass. I stand up, walking to the giant window. Sarah, Do you understand real payback? She shakes her head. I turn around. True revenge is never just taking someone down. It means making them fully realize, at their lowest possible point, exactly how they ruined their own lives. Right now, Lydia sits in a cell. Every single day, she faces her massive failure and relives every foolish choice. That mental torture is way worse than physical pain. Sarah nods. You are completely right. These 7 years will be absolute hell for her. I laugh coldly. 7 years? You and I know she expects a fresh start. So naive. I will ensure she learns that some mistakes are permanent. Sarah looks totally unsure. I just speak calmly. When she gets out, she will see her old company, Patents, and team absolutely thriving under my control, creating insane value she never imagined, while she just stands there watching helplessly. Powerless. Sarah gasps. Mr. Han, you will make her regret this her entire life. I face the window, voice rock steady. She humiliated me before the whole company. I ruined her before the whole world. She stole, so I took everything. She shattered our bond. I erased everything she built. That is the ultimate price for betrayal. Outside, the city is beautifully bathed in bright golden sunlight. Beneath that glow, Lydia is now a total joke. Memes about her disgrace are spreading endlessly. Someone even made her downfall a university case study, warning new founders to follow the law and never betray the people who helped them rise. I became the ultimate positive example. Countless people view me as a perfect model. This public drama ruined Lydia, while elevating my own reputation to absolute peak heights. Heights I never imagined. This is exactly the outcome I planned. A completely perfect, total victory. 2 weeks after the verdict, I officially take back full ownership of that massive office building. I bought it 5 years ago. To help Lydia start up, I let her use the whole place completely free of charge, never asking for anything back. I covered every loan payment, tax bill, and maintenance cost all by myself. Now, it returns home. I stand outside, staring up at the 8-story structure. Wild feelings hit me. This place, watched Lydia rise to the top, and witnessed her epic fall. Sarah steps up. Mr. Han, the renovation crew is ready. They start on your command. I nod slowly. Follow my exact plans. Turn this into Han Group's new headquarters. I want everyone knowing this building was always truly mine. Sarah leaves. I step inside. The quiet, empty lobby still carries a slight trace of her ruined company. What do you and I learn here? Karma collects. Peeling paint proves her neglect, because Lydia always cut cheap maintenance corners. Trust me, you and I are about to see the most satisfying comeback ever. I expected basic respect. Turns out she completely trashed the place. So, I step in. The massive renovation starts immediately. I hire the absolute best design team in town to upgrade everything. We are talking high-end imported marble. We swap walls for smart glass and install the absolute craziest tech in every single office. Just 1 month later, the place is totally unrecognizable, a complete and utter masterpiece. Standing up in the top floor office, I look out over the entire city. Yeah, that feels like pure victory. This is exactly what it was always meant to be. I throw a massive grand opening event. Basically, every big shot in the Jiangcheng business world attends. Director Wang, Mr. Zhao, and everyone who used to work with Lydia are here, completely stunned by the brand new lobby. Mr. Han, this is incredible. A true headquarters for Han Group. Director Wang leans in, smiling. He tells me Lydia never gave this building the respect it actually deserved. The value just doubled, and rumor has it, when Lydia heard you took it back from prison, she completely lost her mind. I say nothing. I just take a quiet sip while Sarah whispers to me, "Now watch this. You and I are gonna love this part." The old employees are outside begging to enter. I frown. What do they want? Sarah says they just want to look around. Since they worked here before, I pause. Let them in. But lobby only. No, upstairs. Sarah nods. Soon after, over a dozen former Lu Corp employees slowly walk into the lobby. They look around, totally shocked and emotional. Then, I spot a girl I recognize right away. The old receptionist. When Lu Corp completely fell apart, she was the only person who did not betray me. She had secretly messaged me, saying she believed my innocence. I walk over. Lin, it has been a while. Lin looks up, eyes instantly filling with tears. Mr. Han, I ask calmly, where are you working now? She looks down sadly. I have not found a job yet. Since Lu Corp collapsed, nobody wants to hire us. I just nod. Come work for Han Group starting tomorrow. No need to thank me, you earned it. When everyone else turned their backs, you stayed kind. I remember. Lin cries and nods. Suddenly, the other former employees see this and rush right over. Mr. Han, please give us a chance too. I just stare them down with absolute ice. When things got bad, you all trashed me. Now, you want a massive favor? They freeze. Not a single word. You and I both know exactly how this works. I reward true loyalty and show zero mercy to backstabbers. You picked Lydia back then. Now live with it. I turn and walk away, leaving them frozen. Only Lin follows. She wipes her tears, bowing deeply. Thank you for this amazing chance. I will work incredibly hard. I nod. I know. Later, after the party, I stand alone upstairs. Sarah walks in. Why help her? Looking at the city lights, I answer. Because she believed in me when I had absolutely nothing. That kind of pure loyalty always deserves a massive reward. You really value the good ones. I turn around. Sarah, you have been here for years. You know me. I destroy my enemies. But for the real ones, I give them the absolute world. Sarah just smiles. Lin will be grateful forever. I shake my head. I do not need anyone being grateful. I'm just doing what is right. Walking to my desk, I grab the Han Group financial report. Since taking over the Lu Corp assets, company profits have skyrocketed by 30%. The patents and the tech team, combined with our insane resources, have blown past every single projection. Lydia could never have dreamed that her life's work would become this unstoppable under my control. Sarah, once she hits absolute rock bottom and loses all hope, I am going to visit her. I will make her see exactly what her empire became. Sarah nods. The final strike, I reply calmly. Whatever pain she caused me, I give it back. Double. That is the rule. Outside the window, the massive Han Group sign shines bright. So what do you and I take from this? The true boss always reclaims his throne, while the betrayer watches helplessly from a cell, completely powerless. Stick with me. You and I are watching the ultimate payback unfold perfectly. After 3 months of hard work, Lydia's old base is now the biggest landmark in the whole business district. The massive LED screen outside flashes the Han Group's newest and most epic achievements. 3 amazing tech projects finished, value hitting 100 billion, easily making them Jiang Chen's most powerful rising star. When the grand opening finally kicks off, literally every major boss in Jiang Cheng shows up to celebrate. I am standing right at the entrance, rocking a sharp-tailored suit, confidently greeting everyone. Director Wang is actually the first guy to run up. He grabs my hand with a huge grin. Mr. Han, amazing job. The Han Group totally deserves this massive win. Director Wang, you are way too nice. Your loyal support over the years means everything. Then, he leans in closely. Mr. Han, bank is rolling out a massive 100 billion industry fund. We absolutely need the Han Group to jump in on this. I just smile. Director Wang, we're team sort the details with Sarah. We will talk soon. Next up is Mr. Zhao, holding a heavy business proposal. Mr. Han, company drafted this massive long-term supply deal. We really want to build an epic partnership together. I take the thick contract and just casually flip pages. Mr. Zhao, thanks for the hard work. I will have my expert team review this thoroughly. He beams. Mr. Han, it is awesome working together. I knew immediately that Lydia's little setup was doomed to fail, and just like I predicted, she completely crashed. You have always been brave and full of vision, Mr. Han. I say absolutely nothing. I just smile. Now watch this part closely. A luxurious, stretched Rolls-Royce pulls up, and a sharp-eyed elder steps out, glowing with absolute boss energy. The whole room instantly drops completely silent. The crowd respectfully clears a path. Sarah quickly whispers to me, Mr. Han, that is Elder Lee, the legendary honorary president of the Chamber of Commerce. I immediately step forward. Elder Lee, having you here is a massive honor for us. The old man laughs, patting my shoulder. Young Han, I lived in your family back when your dad started out. Seeing you reach this epic peak makes my old heart so happy. I quickly guide him inside the lobby. Please come in, sir. He looks around the room, nodding with clear approval. Absolutely stunning. I remember this place well. You bought it yourself, right? Then let that Lydia Lu borrow it. She really did not realize how lucky she was, biting the hand that fed her. Now, it is back in the right hands. Much better than before, I calmly reply. Elder Lee, there is honestly no need to bring up the past. But the elder shakes his head. Yes, there is. You played this perfectly, keeping your pride intact. In business, showing too much mercy just ends up hurting yourself in the end. You made the right call. I respectfully nod my head. He keeps talking. I came today for another big reason. There is another big thing I need to discuss with you. The Jiangchang Chamber of Commerce is selecting a new president. I chatted with the senior leaders, and we all totally agree you are the absolute best choice for this. I just freeze up. Elder Lee, I'm honestly way too young. I might lack the influence to lead. He just waves my worries away. Who cares about age? Youth means endless energy and fearless moves. Just look at the insane success you built so fast. Your strategies are flawless. The chamber desperately needs a strong young leader like you to take us to the next level. I pause for a second. Elder Lee, please give me time to think. He smiles warmly. No rush. I will wait for your final answer. You are definitely going to make us proud. The grand ceremony starts. I stand before hundreds of elite business minds and start my big power speech. Honored guests, thank you so much for joining the Han Group opening event today. 3 months ago, took back this building, which was always rightfully mine. People keep asking why I spent millions on this huge remodel. You see where this is going, right? It is worth it. This building is not just our headquarters. It perfectly proves our total dedication to top quality, strict principles, and absolute firm belief. The crowd goes absolutely wild with applause. I keep talking. These last few months have been brutal. People completely turned against me. They dragged my name through the mud, trying to destroy me. But I held on to one truth. Rules are rules, and principles are lines you never cross. Today, the Han Group stands tall, not just as a business, but as a legendary symbol for everyone who stayed strong and fought back. The applause explodes louder. Many rise to their feet. Looking at the massive crowd, intense pride completely fills my chest. From this day forward, the Han Group will always live by this core belief. We will break limits and lead total corporate innovation. We are going to boost Jiangchang and the entire nation forward. And our actions will loudly prove to everyone that hard work wins, and wrong choices are severely punished. So what do you and I take away? Reward, loyalty, but for the backstabbers, show absolutely zero mercy. Stick with me. We head to the top floor office. Sarah hands me a new document. Mr. Han, this just arrived. I open it. A 100 billion deal. The target is another huge corporation right here in Jiangchen. I study the file closely. A confident smile slowly pulls at my lips. Very interesting. It seems like our epic journey just started. Sarah says, Mr. Han, you're already a total legend in the Jiangchen business world. I shake my head. A legend? No, this is just the start. A real legend is built over an entire lifetime. I walk to the massive glass window. Those traders are sitting behind bars right now, facing cold iron and endless regret every single day. Meanwhile, I stand atop this glowing city, stepping right into a brand new chapter. Sarah steps up right beside me. Mr. Han, Lynn did amazing today. Every single guest praised her bright warmth. I nod. She has a good heart. Invest in her. Sarah smiles warmly. Mr. Han, you are honestly great to her. I reply quietly, because she deserves it. In this crazy world, true sincerity is the absolute rarest treasure. Whoever is genuine with me gets total loyalty in return. That is my core principle, and my absolute bottom line. Night falls. The glowing screen outside the building blazes bright. Now pay attention. Sarah asks, if Lydia had never betrayed me, would I really be standing right here today? I stay completely silent for a second. Then I calmly reply, zero regrets. Without her betrayal, I would just be a comfortable vice president, never knowing my true potential. Honestly, in a weird way, I really should be thanking her. Her betrayal built the person I am today. Sarah nods slowly. Mr. Han, you are completely at peace with everything. I turn my attention right back to her. Sarah, remember this. You and I both know strong people sometimes fall, but they rise up every single time, and always come back 100 times stronger. I raise my glass, toasting the boss I became today. I drink it all in one shot. I set the glass down and turn back to my grand desk. That 100 billion deal sits right there. Beside it, a massive stack of shiny contracts awaits my signature. This right here is my battlefield, my grand stage. Lydia is history. My epic story is just starting. Outside, the vibrant city glows in the deep dark, radiating pure energy. The Han Group Tower stands right at the heart, shining like a massive lighthouse guiding the way. I sit at my desk, grab my trusty pen, and sign my name on that epic 100 billion deal. Trust me, our journey begins.